Welcome back to our study of the Romantic era and the music contained wherein. We are talking about the Blue Danube Waltz today. This was written in 1866 by Johann Strauss Jr. Now, there was a Johann Strauss Sr., and he was also a composer. And he fervently hoped that his son, the young Johann, would go into banking. But not because he wanted him to make money, but because he was insanely jealous because his son was a better composer than he was. So much so that to this day, Johann Strauss Jr. is known as the Waltz King. Not his dad. His dad was basically lost to history. So Johann Strauss Jr., the one we're talking about, most of the music that he wrote was for dancing. He did write some operas, as was the custom of the time. The most successful opera he had was called Die Fledermaus, The Revenge of the Bat. That one has featured in Batman stories and all that. He also took his orchestra on a tour of the United States in the late 19th century. He was good friends with none other than Johannes Brahms, the famous German composer, who was kind of an elder statesman at the time they knew each other. This particular piece, the Blue Danube, or By the Beautiful Blue Danube, is the full name. It's the unofficial national anthem of Austria. And it's just a depiction of the river, the Danube River that flows through Austria. Beautiful, scenic, all that good stuff. There was a man who wrote words to go with it named Joseph Weil. That was after the fact and not really, he didn't really have the blessing of Johann Strauss when he wrote it. So there is some wonderful information about this piece. The video I have for you today is rather long, so I'm going to jump around in it a little bit. But it's worth watching. Check this out. These instruments are called Vienna horns, and they are pretty unique to the Vienna Philharmonic. They have like an extra 4 feet of tubing. orchestra are men. The first woman joined the Vienna Philharmonic in 1997. 7-year-old female player, Constance Switch. So there you have the highlights version, at least, of the Blue Danube Waltz. That was kind of sneaky how they got the dancers there into the auditorium at the end. Okay, next week we will look at the most famous concert pianist of all time, Franz Liszt. See you then.